Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks.
We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
Stack enough wins to avoid a brutal matchup path, and when Giannis gets back full burst, they got to get him back on the floor and back on the floor healthy. The Bucs season won't be defined by the game Giannis misses. It'll be defined whether Milwaukee protects him from himself and gets him back in April if he's still a part of the team.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Oh, yeah, it is a Wednesday. It is hump day. One step closer to Super Bowl 60 out there in Santa Clara between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Over the next 2 hours, we got you covered. We'll keep you updated on everything we're hearing out in San Francisco. But more importantly, the trade deadline coming up in the NBA. Trades already going down. Big-time college basketball and the Olympics on the horizon. Donnie Rightside, Joe Ranieri, the early line, Hump Day Wednesday, SportsGrid Network. It all goes together.
Yeah, actually, some craziness yesterday when the NBA trade deadline. We had a little something for everybody there. A lot of teams answering some questions if they were going to make the moves or not, Donnie. Now, will any of them work? That's a whole nother discussion.
A whole nother discussion, too. The Pro Bowl games took place yesterday. Just please get rid of them. I don't need to see Micah Parsons rolling around on a golf cart out there with a hurt leg. Here's the hottest topic of the day, Joe. Bring that heat.
Well, Donnie, I'm so glad you brought that up because I feel like I need some caffeine here this morning to wake up because I need to know if I was actually hallucinating last night or not. Because obviously, did anybody else flip on the TV and witness the train wreck that was the 2026 Pro Bowl games? For years, we have said the Pro Bowl is the worst all-star event in sports. And the NFL heard us loud and clear and said, really? Well, you may want to just hold my beer because I think we can top that. Because last night on a Tuesday, a night usually reserved for Maction or infomercials, the NFL decided to showcase its best players inside what looked like a catering hall, Donnie. And I'm serious about this. They held this thing at the Moscone Center in San Francisco. It looked like a bar mitzvah with a turf field rolled out into the middle of the dance floor. There were maybe 2,000 people there. It was quiet. It looked awkward. It was an abomination on many different levels. And the product on the field? I turned on the TV, and I see Shedeur Sanders, who, of course, played 8 wonderful games this year, the worst-rated passer and quarterback in the NFL. He was throwing passes to Cortland Sutton and Nico Collins. Yay. Then Joe Flacco waddles out there. He's 41 years old, and I love Joe, don't get me wrong. But watching Uncle Joe play flag football in a convention center is not showcasing the stars, Donnie. It's actually activity night at the retirement home. So I have a question for Roger Goodell. You just announced you're expanding or wanted to expand the schedule to 18 games. You're definitely expanding international games to make more money. You clearly care about the bottom line. So why are you subjecting us to this? Nobody is paying to see this. Nobody cares about this. And I would literally rather watch Micah Parsons play Madden on Twitch while trash talking Tyreek Hill than watch this charade going on. At least that has passion. At least that feels real. This was a corporate boardroom's idea of this should be fun, and it landed with a thud. Now, the good news here is the ratings are going to come out later this week, and they are going to be a total disaster. And when the NFL realizes that this Tuesday night catering hall special didn't make a profit, maybe, Donnie, just maybe, they will finally do the humane thing and put this Pro Bowl games out of its misery. So rest in peace to the Pro Bowl. I guarantee you, you won't be missed.
And sometimes it's rare, Joe, that everybody agrees, the fans and the players alike. We don't like this. We don't want to show up. And if we do, it feels like we're forced to be here. It's not a great environment, as Joe points out. There was nobody there. It looked like it was basically one of those, like when you're growing up and you go to like a batting cage, like, hey, just have a little bit of turf on the side and these guys will have a little football catch here. I was one of the first, Joe, to say, just do away with the Pro Bowl altogether. And maybe after a decade, people are finally starting to listen. We don't need it here. It doesn't matter. Just have a nice steak dinner at the end of the year with all the Pro Bowlers. Get them together, smoke some cigars, and be on your way. That's the hot topic of the day. Absolutely. The Pro Bowl games, ridiculousness here. Let's get to the early lineup here with the hottest topics across the sports landscape, which deals with LeBron James. He says, you know what? I expect to be here in the Los Angeles Lakers uniform the rest of this season, Joe.
I mean, with the fact that you even have to say that, LeBron, I think is interesting at this point here, because where else would you be going? I'm just curious, Donnie. What was the alternative besides the Lakers? That's interesting.
Yeah, no alternative there. How about this alternative? Jaren Jackson Jr. is on the road here to be a member of the Utah Jazz. Sometimes I think teams just make trades to make trades, and now you see 12 draft picks coming back to Memphis over the next couple years. I don't know what's going on out here, but I don't think either one of these teams actually even got better.
Well, I mean, listen, it's obvious Memphis is hitting the restart button, but the big surprise, of course, was the fact that it was Jaren Jackson Jr. and not Morant, because John Morant is still, I guess they're lowering the price now on him, but listen, you got to hit the reset button. Memphis, it's maybe a year or two late, but they realize what's going on, and that's exactly what they did. I happen to like this Utah team. I like Hardy to coach. I think marketing, Keontae George, you added now Jaren Jackson Jr. Moving forward, this is a real team to keep an eye on.
Let's see what the Utah Jazz do in the future here. And how about those New York Giants? After riding the high of getting Mr. Harbaugh in town, John Harbaugh, that is, now all of a sudden you say to yourself, questionable decisions at defensive coordinator, now offensive coordinator. No longer that hype train coming out of New York, but Matt Nagy. Somebody picked up the phone, and Andy Reid said, you need to hire this guy. And Harbaugh says, yeah, I'll do you solid. Nagy, offensive coordinator for the Giants now.
Yeah, boy, that honeymoon is over quickly, isn't it, there with the Giants and Harbaugh. But almost feels like, Donnie, somebody in the front office might have said, listen, we need you to take the heat off of our co-owner Tish here. If you could just garner some headlines by making the worst offensive coordinator pick that you could ever, we'd really appreciate it. And boy, that's exactly what he did.
You know what? In the NBA and dunk competitions, we like high flyers, like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4 guards skying through the air. Oh, my goodness, feats that we love. You know what we don't like? Guys like Jalen Duren, great basketball player in the NBA, but basically a center/power forward in a dunk competition. Again, the Pro Bowl game should go away. The dunk competition should do the same.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love Duren. At least he's more athletic, Donnie, than more of the other guys in that same category. But unless he is jumping over, I don't know, like, F-150s or something along those lines. I'm really not sure how this is going to be entertaining in any way, shape, or form, Donnie. I mean, that's like you and I throwing a golf ball into a golf hole. Woo! Boy, the challenge at present, that's going to garner eyeballs.
How about the NFLPA goes, they have no appetite, talking about for the players themselves, so playing an 18th game. Let me tell you something. Pay them more, their appetite will be, we're starving for that 18th game, Joe.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. But somebody would have gotten paid more there, Donnie, but it wouldn't have been the players. It certainly would have been the owners and the league, which is why, get ready for it, every NFL team, sooner rather than later, will be traveling overseas for an international game, Donnie.
By the way, in the NBA, I always get like the back-to-backs and the load management always like sort of crack me up at this point. The reason I'm bringing this in on a Lindsey Vonn topic is when you were a kid, you played hours and hours of basketball every single day. But professionals like, I can't play back-to-back games here. I'm got to rest up at this point. Lindsey Vonn has an ACL tear. She's like, yeah, I'm going to be skiing in the Olympics. How about that?
That's a level of toughness, Donnie, we're talking about. We miss that in sports these days. So kudos to Lindsey Vonn here. Like, you're not letting an ACL get in the way of me chasing gold. Now, wouldn't it be great if she, in fact, does get that gold?
Rinse and repeat. James Harden to a new team here. Loves it here. It just didn't work out with L.A. Fast forward to the next trade deadline, man. The Cavaliers are doing me dirty, not signing me to a super long-term deal. I got to get out of here. James Harden to the Cavaliers. Let's see if that works out.
Yeah, you know what? I like the deal for the Clippers more than I like it for the Cavs. Yeah. So good luck there with that, Cleveland, because that's a headache you didn't need.
Spread lines coming up. Talking about Super Bowl 60. Any changes? No. We'll be right back.
Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
They actually play Miami and nobody else. Bum after bum after bum. Now, the key ingredient to this clause, though, Joe, college football undefeated season. Oh, no, wait, Donnie. You go undefeated in the regular season, you got to win like 4 games to win that championship. No, you don't. It's regular season. Notre Dame, the kings of duck, and saying, hey, we're going to play the easiest schedule ever. They got it.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Peterson right now is minus 300 to be the top pick in the NBA draft. And anybody that saw the game on Saturday, you saw his vicious dunk, and you saw his explosiveness, and he hung 18 points up on the board in the first half, right? What did he do in the second half? Ask Bill Self. Why did he come out of the game? What did Bill Self say? I don't know. Ask him. This is where we're at right now.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Spreadlines, let's get to them on a Wednesday, hump day, getting you ready for Super Bowl 60 this weekend in Santa Clara, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And yes, to take out the microscope on the game once again. Line open, Joe, 4.5. Line sits, 4.5. Total 46.5. We had to move down to 45.5, which it still sits there today. Hump Day Wednesday, money will pour in later in the week. A slightly different ticket deviation here from 70% of the tickets on Seattle down to 68% of the tickets now on Seattle. So there's a slight move there. But Joe, your spread line for Super Bowl Sunday is what?
Yeah, Donnie had talked to the guys in the risk room again yesterday, and they are convinced, get that over money in sooner rather than later. They don't see this thing dropping any lower than the 45 or 45 and a halves in the market. They are thinking much closer to 46 and a half, 47 when it's all said and done, which means not only the public money, but there could be some sharp money sitting on the sidelines for the total. But they still don't anticipate a whole lot of craziness with the spread there, Donnie. They're anticipating 4.5, 5, depending on the part of the country, regionally, also in the sports books that you're working with. You might see a half a point tick up, obviously, or tick down in the Northeast. You know you're going to get a lot more New England money. Out West, you're going to get more Seattle money. So choose accordingly.
Choose accordingly tonight in college basketball. An 11 o'clock start. This is going to be Utah State versus New Mexico. Overnight line was around -2.5. That line now sits at -1.5 as a favorite toward New Mexico here. Playing at the Pit. Did the people out there know how far this game has changed? The Pit actually held a Final Four and a championship game in just a normal arena. What? That doesn't make any sense, Joe. But what is your spread line tonight between Utah State and New Mexico?
Huge Mountain West battle here. I mean, nobody saw New Mexico being as competitive as they are here this year, but Utah State handled business over the weekend against San Diego State, and this is just another test here. And New Mexico, I mean, listen, we're talking about maybe a third team here from the Mountain West, and they do it with defense here. So don't be shocked. Quietly, the Mountain West has become quite a decent conference here, Donnie, with Utah State. We saw Boise State and Nevada go at it last night. This would go a huge way for New Mexico to lock up their postseason and get that at-large berth there in March Madness.
Buckle up in the SEC tonight. Why? Texas A&M is going to take on Alabama. This line opened up overnight, Joe. Roughly 6.5. Now we're seeing some live movement towards Alabama. 7.5s and even 8.5s in the marketplace right now. But the total is where you need to look. Look at that. 179.5. Why? In SEC play, Alabama is the fastest team. In SEC play, Texas A&M is the third fastest team, and away we go. Up and down the court, Joe, close to a 180 total. What's your spread line tonight for A&M and Bama?
Listen, buckyball with Texas A&M. Nobody saw this team doing what they have been doing, and they are just rolling right through the SEC here, Donnie. And they're doing it rather easily. They're doing it by making great shots. They're also doing it by playing a little bit of defense here and rebounding. They don't beat themselves all that often, but Alabama coming off of that smackdown by Florida, and you said it, man, this total has been doing nothing but rising. The Alabama money is coming in. Alabama at home has been better than Alabama on the road. The market keeps waiting for the wheels to fall off of Texas A&M, but I don't trust Alabama. Even at home, I don't know that this is the moment that Texas A&M is all of a sudden going to fall off the wayside. I might be looking at taking the points here tonight.
UCF going to take on Houston in Houston tonight. You take a look at this spread line here, Joe. Open up around 13.5 overnight. Now we're seeing as high as 15.5 in the marketplace as the favorite towards Houston. You know you're a good basketball team. Number 1 in offensive efficiency in conference play. Number 2 in defensive efficiency in conference play. And also my favorite statistic, the best team in conference play at turning you over, and also the best team in conference play at not turning the basketball over yourself. That's Houston, favored by 2 touchdowns plus tonight, going up against UCF. What are we thinking on the spread line here?
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw 14s last night. Now we're seeing 15 and a half, Donnie. And now, of course, we also saw the total at 150 and a half last night. No shocker that that's coming down. But listen, this UCF team, I'm rooting for them to make the tournament because it's a fun style of basketball. The problem is, well, on the road against top 50 defenses, they have not done well, Donnie. They turn the ball over 25% of the time. They're only a 47% 2-point shooting team on the road. When they play elite defenses on the road, it doesn't end up well. And something tells me this one is not going to end up well for UCF. But hey, they surprised the world last week at home against Texas Tech, right? Houston, though, something tells me they're going to try to put this game away early like they usually do. Maybe cut this game in half and look at Houston early in this one, Donnie.
Yeah, we know Houston loves to get after it on defense, turn you over, be aggressive, and they do foul. The only problem is UCF 10th in conference play, getting to the free throw line. Ooh. Can they take advantage of that aggressiveness here for Houston? We'll find out tonight. Let's flip it over to the NBA. Both of these teams, the Nuggets and Knicks, did play last night, and the Knicks are on a winning streak right now as they head back to the Garden. This line opened up overnight, Joe, 4.5s to 5.5s. Now we're seeing 6.5s in the marketplace as a favorite for the New York Knicks. Times are running hot there at the world's most famous arena. The Knicks look like they're turning a corner right now. What's your spread line tonight for Nuggets Knicks?
Yeah, second of a back-to-back losses for Denver, by the way, who were in Detroit last night. And at the end of the second quarter, Donnie, they turned the ball over 3 times in about 25 seconds and gave Detroit a 10-0 run. And that was really the difference in the game because they dominated Detroit in the second half, but they gave them too much in that second quarter. Now the Knicks come in flying at home. Not a great matchup here for the Knicks with Denver, who's going to be looking to end that losing streak. Feels like a lot of points. I might be inclined to take them. Both teams on the second of a back-to-back here.
7 games tonight in the association. Game number 1 is going to start with the New York Knicks and the Denver Nuggets. The late night game tonight, 10:30 start. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the new-look Cavaliers, taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. Isn't that an interesting matchup after a trade just went down? Fun times in the NBA. We'll track it all, but let's get back to Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl 60 on the horizon. We'll continue to handicap next right here on the early line.
Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
They actually play Miami and nobody else. Bum after bum after bum. Now, the key ingredient to this clause, though, Joe, college football undefeated season. Oh, no, wait, Donnie. You're undefeated in the regular season. You got to win like 4 games to win that championship. No, you don't. It's regular season. Notre Dame, the kings of duck, and saying, hey, we're going to play the easiest schedule ever. They got it.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Peterson right now is minus 300 to be the top pick in the NBA draft. And anybody that saw the game on Saturday, you saw his vicious dunk, and you saw his explosiveness, and he hung 18 points up on the board in the first half, right? What did he do in the second half? Ask Bill Self. Why did he come out of the game? What did Bill Self say? I don't know. Ask him. This is where we're at right now.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl 60 this Sunday, trying to ramp it up, trying to get excited here. Maybe not at the level that we see in the previous years where it was superstar team versus superstar team. We're expecting a very competitive game in Santa Clara between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Once again, if we take a look at that game board here, a 4.5-point favorite as the technically road team, Seattle Seahawks at -4.5 in that total of 45.5. I'm interested to see where that line goes. I don't know, Joe, if we're getting back to the 5s or higher, which you like to call no man's land. I'm thinking we might get some money coming in late week on the New England Patriots. Am I wrong that we might be more likely to see 4s than we do 5s? I don't know.
And again, I think regionally is a good point, Donnie, because I can tell you the books in the Northeast here, or really east of the Mississippi, likely going to see some Patriot money, more Patriot money than Seattle money by the public. And if anything is going to push it, that is likely going to push it there. But I would imagine, and we've already seen it, Donnie, that the public is already out in full force, and the books are already saying it. They are going to be a very big public favorite. So for the most of the country and most of the books, Donnie, it appears that Seattle is going to get all of the public love when they start going to the window. But as far as maybe some of the pro money, that may be what equalizes it. So I think we see more line freeze than we see crazy line movement here.
Let's take a look at the head-to-head matchup between these two head coaches here. Mike Vrabel, 73-51. Mike Macdonald, 26-10. If you're asking me who has the better coaching resume, well, maybe it's Vrabel, who's been around longer, but the better team in this organizational matchup, it's going to be with Seattle and Mike Macdonald for me, Joe.
Yeah, but and what we know is that in the Super Bowl, history tells us the best team doesn't always win, and it certainly doesn't mean that they always cover. So I do think that there is no way around it. Vrabel, not only as a player, but now his second go-around as a head coach, it's obvious he has the command and the attention of that team, a very young team. And we always say, Donnie, right? Teams take on the persona of their head coach, right? McDonald's a defensive guy. Vrabel's a defensive guy. It is not a shock that both these teams begin and end with defense, right? But, you know, then there's the OCs here. Kubiak has been great, going to take on the job of the Raiders. But, you know, how many did we say yesterday that McDaniel's been in now? That's a ton of experience there, Donnie, for a young quarterback. That's crazy.
Exactly. Yep. Mike Macdonald, who once coached in Baltimore under John Harbaugh. Here's him talking about that Harbaugh influence.
I don't think it's possible to overstate his influence on me. I love John Harbaugh. He's one of my biggest mentors. Was willing to take chances on me when other people weren't, and invested in me and my career throughout, and stretched, you know, like the things that I felt like I could do. He had a vision for me in my career that I probably didn't have for myself, and all those principles that are part of his program that he's about as a person resonated with me, and those are a lot of the foundational principles that we brought to Seattle. And he's a great friend. He's got a great family, so I can't tell you how much I love him.
By the way, taking a look at that, can we get just a still shot of McDonald talking right there? Can we put a still shot up here? Because I just want to bring something up about, you know, fitness. Like, is he wearing a muscle suit, or is he the most jacked head coach in the history of professional sports, Joe? Like, what does he got? Like 42-inch pythons? Like, what are we doing here? He looks like he's enormous. I don't know.
I mean,
look at the arms.
Look at that. Yeah. You know what? Now you're kind of making me think that maybe him and Vrabel in a Royal Rumble might not be that could be a pay-per-view ticket worth paying for there. Better than anything we saw with the Pro Bowl games last night. That's for sure.
Jacked up head coaches, which means teams coming out hot in the Super Bowl, that's going to make a big difference. You want the lead at halftime to make those adjustments to carry on and win a Super Bowl. Look at the spreads in the first half here, Joe. Seahawks -3.5 in a total. That's listed at 23.5, putting you right on those hooks, man. Joe, if I gave you a free bet first half, +3.5 or -3.5, where are you going?
Yeah, I would probably look at the under here, Donnie. I do think that that is going to have some value. I think there's a few different ways to line up your bets from a prop betting perspective and what you think is going to happen in this game, where it could be a very profitable Sunday for you if this is your first time going with it. A lot of correlation in this game, Donnie.
A lot of correlation, a lot of things to figure out. You got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then you have no more professional football until we see these guys back in September. We got you covered here. It's what we do on the SportsGrid Network. The early line. We'll be right back.
Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
They actually play Miami and nobody else. Bum after bum after bum. Now, the key ingredient to this clause, though, Joe, college football undefeated season. Oh, no, wait, Donnie. You're undefeated in the regular season. You got to win like 4 games to win that championship. No, you don't. It's regular season. Notre Dame, the kings of duck, and saying, hey, we're going to play the easiest schedule ever. They got it.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Peterson right now is minus 300 to be the top pick in the NBA draft. And anybody that saw the game on Saturday, you saw his vicious dunk, and you saw his explosiveness, and he hung 18 points up on the board in the first half, right? What did he do in the second half? Ask Bill Self. Why did he come out of the game? What did Bill Self say? I don't know. Ask him. This is where we're at right now.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl, which would be dominated yearly in the late 80s and early 1990s here by the NFC. So you might find yourself, Joe, thinking like, hey, the NFC's got a huge lead in who's won the Lombardi over the AFC or vice versa. How about this graphic? Will the Seahawks add another Lombardi to the NFC's lead, or the Patriots even it back up for the AFC? Did you know, Joe? 28 Super Bowl championships here for the NFC, 27 for the AFC. How about that?
Yeah, that's pretty close, right down the middle, right? And obviously the game has changed. The rules have changed, especially over the last decade here. But still, that's pretty impressive after all the changes, Donnie, that were almost 50-50 with a chance to even it up this year is actually pretty impressive.
The New England Patriots are the LeBron James of the NFL. Is that possible here? Take a look at this graphic. Depending on the outcome of Super Bowl 60, the Patriots will either have the most wins or most losses in Super Bowl history. Let's just say 6 wins, 6 losses. How about that? Do you get credit for going to the Super Bowl? Because LeBron James never gets credit for making it to the NBA Finals unless he wins it.
Well, that's because, the Patriots are in uncharted territory. LeBron is being compared to, the GOAT, which would be Michael Jordan, who, every time he made it, he won. So there is a difference there. But I would say that you got to be in it to win it, Donnie, right? Isn't that the bottom line? And nobody has been in it more than the Patriots have over the last couple of decades. So it just shows you they got something rolling there.
How about this? Gets back to Eagles fans. It always does. Milton Williams finds himself in the Super Bowl damn near every single year. Here's Milton, the star defensive tackle of the New England Patriots, talking about Eagles fans.
I'll probably say to be things New England is probably more passionate, but Philly fan, they don't care about that. They don't do that. They gonna it's like it's even, but like I feel like the Patriots fan, they don't want to get in trouble. Philly fan, they don't care about that. They don't care if they go to jail or do whatever.
So he basically said Eagles fans aren't as passionate, but then again, Philly fans don't care. They're so passionate they'll go to jail for their team. Sounds like Milton just. And by the way, he's a professional athlete in playing for the Patriots in a Super Bowl. What did you want him to say? Was he supposed to come out like, look, man, I took the bag in New England. Yeah, we're here in the Super Bowl. Fans suck. Rather be in Philadelphia. No, of course he's going to tell you that, Joe.
Yeah. Well, and listen, I think there is some truth to it here. I mean, they can both be extremely passionate fans, but Philadelphia, that fan base has been known to maybe kick it up a notch there, and I don't know, egg coordinators' houses and things along those lines. So but again, I'll never forget when the Patriots signed him there and got him, and boy, oh boy, the Patriot media there in New England was like, this is just what a waste this is. My goodness, what a waste of money. I don't think it was a waste of money here, Donnie. Call me crazy. And maybe, just maybe, the Eagles could have used his services once again.
And by the way, Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator, is no longer the offensive coordinator. He is lucky that we actually have a couple Super Bowls under our belts because we're getting soft now. You're egging houses. That might have been if we never won Molotov cocktails, bricks, and stones, and even driving cars into people's houses at this point. So we have mellowed with our Super Bowl championships here. But how about let's flip it back to the Super Bowl here and Super Bowl 60. John Gruden used to be a head coach in the NFL. John Gruden does have a ring on his finger, but John Gruden also had Rich Gannon as a quarterback while he was a head coach. Here, look at this. Let's run into Gruden and also Gannon on the streets of San Francisco.
Hey, I'm walking down San Francisco. I'm here for the Super Bowl, and I run into this guy. I mean, the last time I saw Rich Gannon, we were fighting on the sideline, man. How the hell are you?
I'm walking down the street. I'm minding my own business. I'm getting ready to go back to my hotel, and some guy's yelling at me. I think, oh my gosh. Yeah. Somebody wants an autograph. More importantly, I'm in the Bay Area. Somebody's going to yell at me, go, the Raiders suck. And all of a sudden, I turn around. He says, check the ball down. Throw it. Don't hold it. I'm like, wait a minute. I know that voice.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to the Oakland Coliseum. We're going to go revisit some of our greatest memories.
Dude, that place was special. Huh?
That was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love the place so much. The only thing that I get some chills sometimes is when I'm out there, Blue 85! Blue 85! And he's always like, no! No! Get the three for the Yankees, Lino! No!
We're playing Tennessee on Monday Night Football. He's going easy, easy. Hey, 98 bunch crunch. He goes, shut the f*** up, Blue 85! You remember that?
Steve Wisniewski was like this. He goes,
yeah.
What?
I love you, man.
I love you, brother.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get together soon.
See you guys.
Yeah. What was your snap count? Let's hear it.
I had a good one, bro.
Let me hear it.
Sit. Blue 85. Blue 85. Hot.
Love you, Gannon. See you, man.
I'll text you. Okay.
What a gift and a curse it must have been to play under John Gruden, because you probably had some really good times, but boy, when he was angry and wanted to get his point across, he must have been such an SOB to play for, man.
Yeah, he was, we all noticed the Signetti expressions, right, on the sideline as the head coach. That was Gruden before Signetti. Nobody had the better facial expressions on the sideline than John Gruden. And now Signetti is cut from that cloth, but my goodness, who was filming that, by the way? Just somebody show up randomly and just film that, be like, oh, it's Rich Gannon. Oh, look at that. It's his coach. That's absolutely priceless.
Which is great, because you're on a city street and somebody's yelling at you. It's like, man, that voice sounds familiar out here. And of course, it's Gruden. And they can remind themselves of plays 25 years ago as if it was yesterday. That shows a pretty good connection right there between the two, which means quarterbacks in the Super Bowl rising to the occasion. We got two pretty good quarterbacks this one. Sam Darnold looking to say, you know what? I was thrown on the scrap heap. I am about to be a Super Bowl champion and maybe Super Bowl MVP. And then there's Drake May. Hey, I'm barely in this league, and I'm already going to start winning big with a Super Bowl process here and maybe an MVP myself. Take a look at these passing props for both of these guys. Haven't changed much, Joe, over the past 2 days. You see the 20.5 passing prop here for Drake May and 228.5 for Sam Darnold. Touchdown passes comparable, plus 134 for 2 touchdown passes for May, minus 108 for 2 touchdown passes from Sammy D.
Yeah, and listen, it just depends on game script and what you think is going to happen here. Now, I do think both quarterbacks are going to have to get it done here because I don't believe that Seattle and Kenneth Walker are going to have a ton of room to run in this game. And, you know, on the other side there, I think it's going to be difficult for Ramondre Stevenson and company to be able to get it done. But it's going to have to be about the explosive plays, right? So both these guys could rack up a lot of stats, Donnie, along the way in this game, because ultimately it might just come down to which one of them makes the big play there through the air and who doesn't.
Two good rushing defenses coming into this football game for Super Bowl 60. Kenneth Walker III as a running back. His number is coming down a little bit here, Joe. 73.5 is his rushing prop. The lead dog in the backfield here for the Patriots feels like it is Ramondre Stevenson taking over that role. He's at 49.5, but lurking there. Travion Henderson only 17.5 yards. His number dwindled in that previous game they played in the AFC Championship game. But do we see any pathway to victory, Joe, for one of these running backs on a prop betting market?
Well, we know Henderson, right, is the big play guy, the explosive play guy. He can rip one off. That it feels like a light number. And we did just see, let's not forget, I mean, we did see Seattle kind of all of a sudden bend, don't break. It wasn't like the Rams didn't put up a ton of points on them here. But if I was going to look at anybody in that prop market for yardage, it might be the tight ends, Donnie. They might have the most success here, more so than the running backs in this spot.
Taking a look at some of those wide receiver positions here. Jackson Smith-Njigba, by far and away the lead dog. 93.5 as he's listed here with his receiving prop. Stephon Diggs, 44.5, and a lot of value down across the board. And the guy that always sticks out is, hey, guys, maybe you want to use Rashid Shaheed. He's only listed at 21.5 on the odds board.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like the Hunter Henry. I like the Varner. I like those props, Donnie, up and over. They are going to be the safety valve, so to speak, here with guys. And we saw what the tight ends, by the way, of the Rams did to that defense of Seattle. I am sure McDaniel noticed as well.
They aren't taking any factors here. Touchdown prop market, Joe. Kenneth Walker III at minus 195. They're basically telling you, don't bet this guy. He's going to score. Take somebody else. We'll certainly go over a lot more of these prop bets and more right here on the early line on the SportsGrid Network. Getting ready for Super Bowl 60.
Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
They actually play Miami and nobody else. Bum after bum after bum. Now, the key ingredient to this clause, though, Joe, college football undefeated season. Oh, no, wait, Donnie. You go undefeated in the regular season, you got to win like 4 games to win that championship. No, you don't. It's regular season. Notre Dame, the kings of duck, and saying, hey, we're going to play the easiest schedule ever. They got it.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Peterson right now is minus 300 to be the top pick in the NBA draft. And anybody that saw the game on Saturday, you saw his vicious dunk, and you saw his explosiveness, and he hung 18 points up on the board in the first half, right? What did he do in the second half? Ask Bill Self. Why did he come out of the game? What did Bill Self say? I don't know. Ask him. This is where we're at right now.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The brothers coaching in the NFL. It's the LaFleur brothers. And all you need to do is be tethered to Sean McVay out there for the Los Angeles Rams, and you get yourself a head coaching job. It's worked out pretty well for most of them. Here's Matt talking about being a head coach.
If I had walked in the house in Mount Pleasant and said one of you is going to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, one would be the coach of the Green Bay Packers, you would have said what?
I'd say you're full of shit. It's just, yeah, it is pretty surreal. I mean, just humble beginnings. My dad at Central Michigan. I walked on at Western Michigan and played at D2 ball. Mike played at Elmhurst College, D3 ball. And I think we have a really great appreciation for just guys that are essentially playing for the love of the game. And I think that is kind of in our core and who we are. And then we've been so fortunate to be around.
How about that? Talking about his brother. And by the way, he did fly out to go to his brother's press conference here, how much it meant to him and the family. And we also have another video here with Mike L., the brother, talking about the players coming to the press conference.
To you guys in the back, to the current players. I really appreciate you guys showing up. When I got the list of how many guys were coming and who was coming, it touched me, man. And I cannot wait to start building relationships with you guys. I can't wait to get to work with you guys. I promise I'll pour it all for you guys every single day. And I can't wait to just get this show going. You know, we'll get through today. We'll get through tomorrow. I told every single one of you I'll be reaching out to you. But this is for you guys. And the staff that we're going to put together is to pour into you guys. When I got some of those FaceTimes on that Sunday, whether it be for my family, some friends, the ones that fired me up the most was coming from you guys, and it got me just more excited to get going. So I appreciate you guys. Can't wait to get to work.
Wait till he goes to the first breakfast there at the facility, and he gets a bill for like $19.99 for his Cheerios and his toast there, Joe. He's not going to be happy about being in Arizona.
Wait, you mean $22 for a side of bacon? Like, wait a minute, what is going on here? But I'm the head yeah, it doesn't matter. It's the Bidwells. Yeah, no. There is, wait until he gets a load of that building and the ownership group here and how cheap they are. As soon as he's got to go in there and ask for, I don't know, extra cleats or something. Wait to see what happens, Donnie.
Yeah, probably signed a 5-year deal, but it's paid out over the next 35 years here to maybe like $1 a day as a head coach. Congratulations there on being out with the Cardinals, but we'll see if he can succeed. An offensive guy follows after a defensive guy, Jonathan Gannon. Maybe it works in their favor. How about Pittsburgh? They're ready for the draft in 2026. Pittsburgh, some of the renderings here. They're officially on the clock.
Wow, look at that. Boy, it's, so good to see that the NFL just, not about the money, just about making sure they spread the draft to every. No, oh, wait a minute. What's it? Oh, it is about the money. Oh, it's about the bidding, Donnie. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's the NFL about the money. So just when I thought they'd want to go to, some of the legendary cities and football. Yeah, no, it has everything to do with the money. What a shock there, NFL. Yeah.
You know where the draft guys would like to be there? Like, hey, we're going to invite the top 20 down. Miami, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, a nice destination city. They even had these guys like, there's a reason why, hey, it's in Green Bay. Yeah, I'm not going to Green Bay to celebrate. I'd rather be in a nice little party atmosphere. Call me when I'm drafted. I'm not going to Green Bay at this point. How about this? Like, sometimes we overthink ourselves. Matt Ryan, I'm sure he wants to do a really good job as the president of operations in Atlanta. He's saying, like, yeah, we got to have some conversations about our starting quarterback. What's the conversation? It's Penix. Is there any other conversation, Joe?
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think basically he's sending the message to Penix and that,
come on.
Nothing is guaranteed. But listen, he wasn't going to make the decision. He basically deferred it to Stefanski, but Stefanski was even less committal than he was. He talked about how he's got some really nice moments in the NFL, but it didn't sound overly. Nobody said this is our guy. We are invading. We're going to do everything. It was like, he's had some nice moments. Okay, doesn't sound convincing to me. Could Kirk Cousins return to there? Because we know Stefanski loves his veterans, right? Nobody loved Flacco more than Stefanski when he had young quarterbacks that he wasn't 100% trusting of. It'll be interesting to see what happens here.
I'll tell you what is interesting to see is who's the quarterback going to actually be for the Cleveland Browns, a team Stefanski actually left, Joe, because why? New Browns head coach Tom Monken wouldn't commit to Shedeur Sanders as a team starting quarterback. No kidding. At least he's speaking the truth right there. Yeah, he's excited working with these quarterbacks. We're excited about getting another quarterback in town.
Oh yes, and maybe the best part about him was Monken just going up there and saying, "I didn't take this job because of Jim Schwartz." I mean, just Jim Schwartz is likely putting in his resignation as we speak here, Donnie. But hey, listen, the only saving grace right now for the immediate Browns future is that defense until you can figure out the quarterback spot. And right now, Donnie, they don't have a quarterback, not one they can consider a franchise quarterback, and Shedeur ain't it.
No, absolutely not. And by the way, like Mike LaFleur took the job with Arizona. Don't you think for 1 minute he went into that, general manager meeting along with the Bidwells as the owners and goes, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this quarterback position. He has a plan. He's just not going to unveil it. And he also says he's not going to address the quarterback situation. He has a lot of respect for Kyler Murray. That's hint for, that's not my quarterback. He might have been a decent quarterback before. I don't think he's going forward with us, though.
Yeah, well, because I think it's out of his control, right? Because the Bidwells they overpaid him. They should not have paid him, and they're still going to pay him. I mean, you can't get rid of him without there being significant dead money that comes along with it. So you're probably stuck with him for at least one more season. You better make nice until you can figure something else out.
They better make nice till they figure something out at this point. You know who else should make nice here? DK Metcalf and that Detroit fan suing for $100 million.
Yes, it feels like he's suing everybody too, Donnie, not just him. Chad Johnson, Shannon Shaw, he's going scorched earth right now. I can't wait to see if a settlement comes out of this, because then I think there might be a few other guys willing to do the same antagonistic things there and see if he can get a player to punch him. My goodness.
Yeah, look, like that fan looks like he loves the media. It'll be interesting when he gets a check and then they go, we have to sign an NDA along with this check.
Yeah.
Because we're never going to hear the end of this one. You know that. We'll be right back.
Yep.
I'll go to my grave convinced, by the way, if Sean Payton takes the field goal and goes up 10-0, maybe that's a totally different game and Denver's playing this weekend instead. So I'm not trying to bash New England. They obviously are a very good team. I just don't think they're a great team, and I felt like the winner of the NFC title game was going to win the Super Bowl. So I still feel, as we're days leading up to this game, I still feel like that's the case.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
David Tyree.
Oh, wow.
The 2008 Giants win against the New England Patriots and the Tyree catch of the Plaxico Burress game-winning touchdown. That was the only other time in Super Bowl history where the betting public won money.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
He completed a pool bank shot at just 2 years and 302 days. His achievements make him one of the youngest double record holders ever. So let me summarize this for you without reading. He's 2 years old, and he's really good at pool. I mean, that is crazy. 2 years old! How is he doing this? I have no idea. So I guess we got to start training our youngsters to play pool. Okay, fair enough.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. Heads or tails? Over or under? Seahawks, Patriots. Don't stress. SportsGrid breaks it all down.
They are locks. We can capitalize.
We're going to see a ton of over money.
Props, expert guests, and smart insight leading up to the big game.
Oh my God, if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
Only on SportsGrid.
Winter Olympic Games from Milan/Cortino coming up in just a matter of days. But how about this story coming from the Athletics? Spanish figure skater Tomás Lorenz Guarino Sebate was told just days before the start of the Winter Olympics that he cannot use his signature Minions music mix. He only has a few days to find new music and sync it to his 2 routines. Why not? What, does Disney have a problem? I think Disney has Minions, right? What's the issue here with him playing his Minions music?
I have no idea, Donnie. You would think on the world stage, right? It's a win-win for everyone. It's but just do what everyone else does. Take the song and let AI redo it and call it an original.
There you go. All you got to do is, like, if you listen to Ice Baby, right? And you say, okay, Rob Van Winkle out there singing his heart out, goes, my song is different. My song goes, ding, 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 ding. And that didn't work in court. He had to pay a big fine for that. But you can always explain and say, it's just a little bit different at this point, and away we go. I'll tell you what else is a little bit different. You're trying to be a downhill skier, basically without a knee, a torn ACL. That's what Lindsey Vaughn's trying to do. Let's hear from Lindsey on the injury.
I'm not letting this slip through my fingers. I'm going to do it. End of story. So I'm not letting myself go down that path. I'm not crying. My head is high. I'm standing tall. And I'm going to do my best. And whatever the result is, that's what it is. But you can never say I didn't try.
Now, Joe, what does Tiger have to say about this, though, huh? Is he get a say in this?
I don't think he does, by the way. But, you got to love it. I mean, she is now, maybe the best part about that, Donnie, is she is how old now? 41? Is that, she's 41 and she realizes, listen, it's my last opportunity here, so I'm not going to let some stupid ACL, get it done, which makes me wonder, exactly how much of a role does the ACL play in what she's about to do here?
But by the way, we are betting opportunists here, and based on a price point, which some people say, hey, the greatest bet I ever made all time was Floyd Mayweather to knock out, Conor McGregor. There's no way he's going to win. I don't care what the price point was. You see Lindsey Vonn is a plus 600. I'm pretty sure in predictive markets, a no to win a gold medal in this one, you can probably bet on. She has a torn ACL. Taking a no on a gold medal seems like a pretty good bet. I don't care what the price is. If she wins on a torn ACL, I don't even know what I even think about that anymore.
Listen, and I get it, right? Because the knee, they're like, listen, your knee is already blown up. So how much worse could it get, Donnie? You know what I mean? So if you can actually make it here and you medal at any level right now, Donnie, and we are talking, she will be etched in, forget it, Olympic history like none other, that she did it with a blown out knee and she still ended up getting the gold, silver, or the bronze. It's going to be that's going to be one of the most watched events. I can promise you that.
Yeah, some great names in this too. You got Kira Winkelman and Breezy Johnson. How about Breezy Johnson, 10-1? That's a fantastic name for a downhill skier. How about the women's ice hockey here? Favorites, Team USA minus 155, Team Canada plus 115, Czechia, Finland, Switzerland, and Sweden after that.
I love it. Let's go Team USA. And it feels like by those odds, Donnie, we already know it's going to be one of two teams winning it. Anything else would be one of the most upsets in Olympic history since, when.
Yeah, let me take a look at the Olympics here real quick, because I'm saying Czechia versus the USA 10:40 a.m. I assume, is that the women's that we're talking about? Or is that the men's game?
That's the women's. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, women's.
By the way, do we have a price point? We have a price point. Whoa, yeah, minus 2,800 there, money line.
Wow.
Put that in a parlay and smoke it, Joe. How about that?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, so there's how am I not laying? I don't even know what the goal and a half is. What's the puck line there? If the money line's 24, what's the puck line? 1,800? My goodness. It's got blowout written all over it, Donnie.
By the way, if you're expecting a blowout, shouldn't you just take the over 5.5 goals? If the U.S. is supposed to have a minus 2,800 on the money line, that doesn't mean a 2-0 win to me, Joe. That means 7-2 final, feels like.
Yeah, that means the backups to the backups to the backups might be playing in that game when it's all said and done. But there is one American, Donnie, that I was told here Jordan Stoltz, apparently, 21-year-old speed skater, might win every event he is in this year for America. So if you want to know why that number for gold medals was juiced up to 12 and a half, over 12 and a half, this guy's in like 7 events and he might win the gold in every one of them.
Wonder if any relation to Eric Stoltz, the great actor. They watch some kind of wonderful out here. Come on now. We bring all the information you need. We'll be right back. Hour number 2.